started when my wife said, take me somewhere different. I want to go out in the wilderness on a day trip or something. And of course, she didn't say it, but you know it's always there. Make me happy. The dog Gami, he doesn't say it, but he's also thinking it, make me happy too. So before we even got out, I was already under pressure. So that's Gami there. You might be able to notice he's got these little things on his front paw. It's a really good technique so dogs don't scratch your car. They're these little booties. You just need them on the front paws only. You put a little mat down on the back seat, no little scratch marks anywhere. Little tip for you. So we're on our way to Wallace Falls State Park. Has anyone been there? Okay, good. You know it's hell. For people like me. When we first pulled up, my wife brought little sushi and some little snacks. We sat in the car with the music playing. It was so serene and wonderful. I was getting some food. Yes, I need food. And when we stepped out of the car at the trailhead, there were some friendly faces that started walking up, strangers. And they're asking us, would you like a volunteer guide? And I'm like, is this like an official thing? Or did they just like self-dub themselves this and they just want to help? Or it seemed strange. As far as I was concerned, point A, point B, no thank you. I'm good, right? Okay, along the way, has anyone seen the movie Avatar? I'm telling you, when I was walking down this trail in the beginning, it was the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. I can't believe this is part of civilization. If you haven't been there, consider going. Because the trees shoot up a mile high, and it's absolutely surrounded with just beautiful, serene scenery and environment. Trees, river, water, rocks, nice little wooden bridges and everything. It's absolutely wonderful. So you can't see him. The little black dot is Gami. And there's my wife. She's happy right now because we're just starting. Okay, what I learned along the path, and this is before I broke off the path. Going to Wallace Falls on that trail, it's almost all uphill. My little dog Gami, that I have always, for 7 years, complained about him when I take him out for a walk, he always pulls on that leash. Always. And I'm always yanking him back saying, heel, 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 so he stops pulling. Guess what? The pulling paid off. This little guy only weighs about 35 pounds, but he's able to generate about 0.7 horsepower of pulling force. My wife doesn't know this. I would not have been able to make it if it wasn't for my dog and his pulling. It wouldn't have happened. He is truly my best friend now. Okay, we made it to, there's the lower falls, there's the middle falls, and there's the upper falls. I made it to the middle falls. Has anyone made it to the upper falls? I'm not going anywhere with you. You're all good. Congratulations. So you can see the sweat and everything. So I look, that's supposed to be a smile on my face, by the way, because I made it to the top. Yeah. Okay. The green trail represents how we got there. I followed the proven path. I needed no help and no volunteers. The yellow trail was me thinking, I want to see some different scenery and I want to go off trail. My sense of orientation is really strong. I know how to read moss that grows on one side of the trees, the sunlight, stars. I mean, I'm covered, right? Okay, well, I was supposed to go on the yellow thing, and I got my wife and my dog and everything. Well, guess what the red represents? Okay, it starts off pretty fine. We're about 90 minutes into the middle of, it could have been Alaska. I knew longer, I didn't want to admit it to myself, right? The worst part of it, on this trip, I realized my wife must have Indian blood in her because she was able to recognize when we crossed a previously walked path. It was like trail signs. She was reading hoof prints and markings and broken twigs. I don't know where this came from. Okay, she kept asking me, are we lost, are we lost, are we lost? And I said, no. Well, I had a really strong feeling that we had to go straight ahead more that way, and it involved this climb that I told you about. So it was no longer a heavy slope. It started getting a little vertical where I actually had to start climbing. I mean, actually climbing on all fours. This is when I tied my dog to the back and the sweat shooting out everywhere. My wife is very aerobic. Even though she was complaining heavily at this point, she looked like Tom Cruise in the movie Mission Impossible. She's hanging in between the two rocks with like one finger. And I'm sitting here getting ready to pass out and die. You know, I just wanted to break my leg. Any kind of excuse. Please, just let's let this end, right? Okay, well, here comes some guy walking around the corner. And I'm thinking, okay, another guy, he's going to be able to help me out. The only problem is, if he asks if we're lost or anything like that, I am not going to admit it. But this guy needs to work with me. All right? The good news is, we had the man-to-man mental link established like that. Okay? The bad news is, this guy looked like the brawny paper towel guy. He's tall, he's strong, he's wearing a plaid shirt, he's got the cute little hiking boots, the smile. He looked so fresh, it was unbelievable. If anybody doesn't know what the brawny paper towel guy looks like, the little dimple in the middle of his chin, that ain't cute. No. There he is again. Okay, well, like I said, we established this eye contact, and right away, without words, dude, I'm lost, I'm in bad shape, you need to back me up, figure something out, you get me right now, you see what's going on here, right? Dude, don't worry about it, just give me like half a second and we will, I'll figure something out. The first thing he said is, can you help me? And I'm like, what's going on? What do you need? My truck broke down just a little bit over this way. Something's wrong with the engine, and I can't figure it out. So I look at my wife and I say, honey, we got to help this guy. Right? And I'm like, yeah, let me take a look. I can't, guarantee anything. So we walk about another 5 minutes to his truck. Open up his hood, didn't even try to start it. Now, luckily, my wife knows nothing about cars, engines, and electrical stuff. Pop the hood open, I'm sticking my hand in there, he hands me a screwdriver, poking, all this other kind of stuff, and after about 10 minutes, I'm like, I found the problem, your distributor came out of sync, and I turned it a little bit, so go ahead and try to start it up. Magically, when he turned the key, it started right up. This guy owed me big. Okay? So the only thing he could offer was some snacks, some cookies, and some cold bottled water. And you know what? I accepted it. It was fine. My lessons learned from that trip. In the beginning, those volunteers that offered to hike with us, keep us company,